Hey everybody out there, welcome back to 91.8 The Fan. Bit of a delay of game here, but I am here with a very special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself to the masses out there?
Hello, masses. My name is Chris Rager.
Chris Rager, a man among men over at Funimation.
I'm one of the bigger people. Yes.
One of the bigger guys, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. As long as you can fit into the booth, you're all set.
Yes. No, I can definitely fit into the booth.
How big is that booth, by the way?
Well, it depends on what room you go to, but the main hallway where all the bigger studios are, I mean, it's a good size. I could stick my arms out and spin around if I wanted to. Well, I probably shouldn't because then I'd like knock over a microphone or something. But
Right.
if there was nothing in that room, I could do that.
Enough room to twirl a cane, even.
Sure. A baton, something of that nature, absolutely.
Well, very cool. And could you tell everybody out there how you kind of got started working over at Funimation?
Well, back in 1999-ish or so. Gosh, has it been that long?
I know, it feels really long when you say it out loud.
Man, it is long. I have a friend, Mike McFarlane. You might have heard of him. And he's Master Roshi on the Dragon Ball Z director, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, he's a friend of mine, and he said to me, "Hey, Chris, there's this place, and they're doing these anime shows, and you guys should come out and audition because we perform in a comedy troupe together called Section 8." And so one day I went out, I auditioned. That particular day, Hercule was on the palette there, and I kind of looked at him and I was like, "Man, I bet you I could do that guy." And I gave it my best shot, and I've been working there ever since. I got Hercule. They called me up one day and said, "You're Hercule." And I'm like, "Cool." I didn't know who or what that was or where it was going to lead me, but I was glad to be a part of it.
You are Hercule. Hercule is a very interesting character.
I'd say he's a lot more dynamic, I think, than the people really give him credit for, honestly.
Yeah, I definitely see that. He has the potential to be more dynamic than people give him the credit for.
But what I mean is like Vegeta, he's always surly, and Goku's always happy-go-lucky, and Master Roshi's always a pervert. These guys they're always the same thing. Hercule, he kind of plays cocky, he plays afraid, he cries, and cowers, and so he has a much larger range of emotion, I think, than some of these other cats.
And especially in a series like DBZ, it's a nice, refreshing change of pace.
Yes. I mean, when the part came along, it definitely was needing a little extra comic relief that they had lost, I think, and I was glad to help.
Definitely. And can you think of any other big roles that sort of stand out in your mind that you've gotten the chance to do since Hercule?
Some of y'all might have heard me in One Piece. I was Arlong in One Piece. More recently, I think, Zampano in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Character, one of Kimley's Chimera, who kind of comes around towards the end and helps Ed and Albert along, and because he too wants to change. And then, video games. Recently, Comic Jumper with Twisted Pixel. Honestly, the most recently is Gunstringer. And a range of Dragon Ball video games. I could go on, but it would be boring after that.
Yeah, everybody loves Hercule in video games, whether they're messing around or beating him up.
Well, my mom always said when I was a kid, I sat around and played video games and watched a lot of cartoons, and she said to me, "Chris, that will never amount to anything." I swear to God, well, I won. I won that battle.
That's about the long and the short of it. You are making your living off of something that never amounts to anything.
Yeah, well, and at the time, I didn't think, "Oh, I'll show you." It wasn't like I set out to do this. It just sort of happened along my way of being an actor and going in auditions and stuff. So I'm glad to do it, and I'm glad to get to, point my finger in my mom's face a little bit, although that's rude. She's my mom, so.
Yeah. I'll always respect your mom. That's the important thing.
That's the message here, guys.
And hopefully, I don't know if you're allowed to talk about it, but if not, then we won't press the issue, but hopefully we get to hear you coming up in DBZ Kai coming up soon.
No, I can talk about that because it's not like it's a surprise of the character I am. But
Right.
no, I have recorded some Hercule on DBZ Kai. I doubt that any of them aired just yet, but the Cell Saga is here, and Hercule is happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, I'm still chugging along through my Part 6 DVD where Cell's not quite perfect yet, but we're getting close. I'm like, all right, getting close to the big final stuff, and Hercule's going to come and steal the show, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah. I guess the only sad part about that is it's not as long. Hercule's not around as much as he used to be. Although I do get a good chunk of episodes, but they took out all that fluff on the DBZ Kai, and well, I think Hercule was involved in a relative amount of fluff on that show. So
Yeah, he gets an episode or two to himself where he's just messing around with Cell.
trying to dive onto carpets and crazy things, trying to fly.
Yeah, it's always insane. I hear that they won't be doing anything after the Cell Saga, which is a shame.
Yeah, I suppose I could talk about that too. I have been told that there is large doubt that they will continue to the Boo Saga, which is unfortunate for my other friend, my good friend. I've known Josh Martin for many, 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 many years, and he is Majin Buu, Fat Boo and Kid Boo, and I think he's probably upset he doesn't get to do that all over again.
Yeah, I know Kylie Bear is a little upset. He's not only not the narrator anymore, but he won't get the chance to show off his adult Gohan.
Yeah, but maybe they'll bring GT back again.
Yeah, that always be fun. GT was, well, I like GT. I'll say that.
Really? Okay, well that's cool. I didn't, the word I got from the fans was that it was not their favorite. But I did enjoy. Well, I halfway enjoyed Hercule being bald, though. So
Yeah, Hercule's bald and Vegeta's got his mustache. So.
I myself am not balding in any way. I'm 38 years old, and I knock on wood. But so.
Well, hopefully that continues to work out for you.
Thanks, thank you. I just want to let people know I'm not bald.
He's not bald.
Or Sabbath.
Yeah.
Those guys are pretty bald.
Yeah, they work it into their.
Oh, they make it work.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know about Sabbath, man. He is quite the fashionista. Honestly, he can dress well.
Yeah, I've heard of Sabbath pulling a couple antics around lately, so that's all.
Well, that's true. Do not leave your Facebook page open around him.
Yeah, don't leave your Facebook page open. Watch out if you get any phone calls from him.
I probably shouldn't talk about this because I don't want that person to know that he's got one going right now it's like a year long. It's beautiful.
Oh no!
I can't even say it because I don't want someone to hear this and go, and then that person know that the whole thing's anyway. I'll move on. I can't talk about it.
Yeah. But is there anything that you have coming out soon that you're allowed to talk about that you're looking forward to promoting?
But I think what we just talked about, the DBZ Kai.
Yep.
Of course, I do probably have. Sabbath actually called me the other day, and to go in to work on the video game, but I don't know what it is, and I don't know what character I'm going to be playing. So there's that. Some video game that I don't know about.
Sometimes it's best. That way you can't say anything that you're not supposed to.
No, they really don't. I mean, they give us these titles of the games that are really kind of funny, and that just have nothing to do with the actual name of the game. But yeah, you can't really talk about some of that stuff. I'm trying to think of something I can talk about, but it's nothing of major excitement.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely.
There's a few projects at Funimation that are really, really, really. One in particular that's really, really fun, and I'm very ashamed that I can't talk about it, dude. Because when I can, it's going to be a lot of fun to talk about.
Oh, well, we'll definitely have to have you.
There's a teaser.
Come back on and talk about that. I know Funimation's been cranking out a lot of good stuff. I'm looking forward to a few things from them pretty soon.
Well, I mean, if this is any indication of some of the things they're going to be doing up there, I'm looking forward to doing a lot more work up there, hopefully, because there's a couple of fun projects.
Well, until then, we will definitely have to keep our eyes peeled for when Hercule makes his appearance in Kai.
Absolutely, to set your DVRs, we gather the family around, make a fire and sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Definitely.
That's what my family and I are going to do, because that's what I do. Anytime I'm on a show, I bring everyone I know in the room, and we all sit around and talk about how good I was.
That's me. That's my voice. Listen to how
Yeah,
good I am.
I did that. I did that. Can you hear it? Can you hear me? No, that does not happen, by the way.
But do you get the chance to hit up any conventions out there?
I do not as many as I would like, but because I think I'm a good guest, and I think anyone out there listening should definitely recommend to their local convention that they would love to have the awesome and very handsome and extremely cool Chris Rager. That's my toy right there. No, I do have one coming up in the beginning of November, very soon. NecoCon in Hampton, Virginia.
Oh, very cool.
And then one in Boise, Idaho at the end of November. I think I have one coming up in February. Anime Spark, something of that nature. So yeah, I've got a few around the corner.
Definitely. And, we've come to realize, we say this to a lot of people that say that they haven't gotten the chance to go out to as many as they'd like to, but sometimes you have to sort of invite yourself to a few conventions.
No, and that's pretty much how you do it too. You gotta send out emails and find the right people to send the right contact information to, and so you do that as often and as much as possible. But at the end of the day, I don't get to play your lead dashing role characters like your Michael J. Tatum's or Eric Bales, or even your Chris Sabat's and stuff, but I get to do the kind of fun character type roles, which I really enjoy. And at the end of the day, if someone like that maybe is available to do a convention, they may, would rather go with them. So, I'm glad to do the ones that I do get to do. And, I hope to do more.
Definitely. And I like to head out to a few myself. I'm sort of limited by location. There aren't too many around here in the New England area, but I am heading out to one this weekend.
Well, no, you know what? Because Kaysen posted on his Facebook page that he was headed to one in New Hampshire.
Yep.
Right?
And I will see.
You're going to see him there.
I will see him there.
You tell him you interviewed me, and he'll tell you some stories.
Yeah, we have to interview Kaysen. I told him last year when I saw him at the same convention, Kaysen, we need to do an interview. And he's blown me off. So I'm going to have a bone to pick with him this weekend.
No. See, you tell him. You say, look, I interviewed Chris Rager, and he told me what an upstanding, high integrity individual that you were, and that you would be glad to do an interview with me, and guilt him into it.
Yeah, that's what we got to go for. We'll guilt trip Kaysen.
Well, it'll work too. Don't hug him though. He doesn't like to be hugged, and so if you're looking to get him to do something, if you hug him, he's out.
All right, that is key information right there. We got the insider tips.
I think so. Unless you're a pretty lady, I think he'd be okay with it.
Well, who could say no to that?
Well, even Kaysen sometimes, I don't know if it's a germ thing or something. He's just funny like that.
Yeah. But do you have a website, Facebook, Twitter out there for anybody who's looking forward to seeing anything you post about your new work or any conventions that you have coming up?
I don't do the Twitter, but I do have a fan page on Facebook. It says Chris Rager, voice actor, Rager. And, I try to stay up to date. There's so few things that you can talk about or say, especially if it's current, so you kind of have to go back a few things in order to post stuff. So I'm not as great at it as I should be, but I do throw some things out there.
Definitely. And before we let you go, we do have one final thing to ask of you since we are nearing the end of our time together, sad as it may be.
Oh, that's too sad. What is that?
We asked everybody who comes on if they would be willing to participate in a 91.8 The Fan tradition.
Absolutely, sure.
All right, cool. So far, we haven't gotten anybody to say no, so that's always a good sign.
Okay, yeah, all right. Did you have anybody regret it afterwards?
Maybe a few people, but
Okay, all
we'll
right,
we'll run through the motions and see how you fare.
all right. I'm game.
All right, it's not painful, I promise. We just asked everybody who comes on the show if they would be willing to do a radio bump for us.
A radio bump?
A radio bump. Basically, we just asked everybody to say the line, "Hello, my name is," you insert your name. I do this. You can say that you're a voice actor or insert a specific character. Whatever you want to do, it's completely up to you. And you're tuned into 91.8 The Fan.
And that's all I have to say. And you're tuned into 98.1 The Fan. Now say my name, give it a little intro, and then you're tuned into 91.8 The Fan.
91.8 The Fan, yep.
All right. Can I just do it as like Hercule, like the entire time? Can I just do it like that?
Sure thing, whatever you want to do. It's completely up to you.
Okay, cool. Well then let's try one.
All right, if you're all set, we can go for it. Take one.
Okay, all right. Listen up, all you chumps out there. I'm the champ. And right now, if you want to listen to something good, you got to be tuned into 91.8 The Fan. Oh, yeah. How about that? Does that work for you?
Awesome, you got it all in one take, too.
Cool. Awesome. That's what they call me up there at Funimation and other places. They one take Rager.
The one take champ.
Yeah, one take champ.
There you go. But thank you very much. This was a lot of fun.
Well, thank you. No, I had a great time.
No problem. And for anybody out there who missed any part of this interview, shame on you, but it will be up on our website in the next couple days, so keep your eyes peeled to 91.8 The Fan, where we have everything you want and nothing you don't.